Hey guys, it's Dr. Casey and I'm back with my Ask the NDs series on supplements. So I've already reviewed my top 5 supplements. Those are magnesium, B complex, fish oil, vitamin D, and then today we're going to be talking a little bit more about probiotics. So what are probiotics? Basically, they're strains of bacteria. The reason this is important is that we have something that's called a microbiome. This is essentially a garden of organisms that lives in your gut. It lives in your large intestine or your colon. So we have a variety of bacteria, viruses, yeast, things that live there that basically create an environment that supports health. So they do things like produce different vitamins for us. They help with our immune health, helps with mood, weight control. There's a lot of different actions actually of this microbiome. So much so now that a lot of researchers are looking at this as another organ in the body. There's actually more cells of bacteria in your gut than there are human cells in your entire body. So think about that. That gives you kind of an idea of how important this microbiome is. So the reason that probiotics are useful is that they can seed, they're essentially like planting seeds into a garden, right? So you're putting some healthful strains of bacteria that have been studied for humans into your microbiome to kind of help it flourish a little bit. Now, what's going to be useful for one person to the next is going to vary a little bit in terms of amounts and species that may be more beneficial for one person or another. So if you tried a probiotic and it didn't feel well or didn't feel like it helped you, you might want to consider trying others because again, there's no one-size-fits-all approach, especially when it comes to the microbiome. We're learning more and more how diverse this microbiome is, but also how unique it is to the individual. So that's something to think about. And also just know that there are other supplements that are in this category beyond just like your lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. So those are kind of the two major strains, but there's also things like soil-based organisms that can be useful for a lot of folks as well. These don't so much seed the bacteria or seed the garden, but they more kind of move through and help things along the way. So there's lots to think about. I would say keep exploring, look up the term microbiome, and if you have questions, go ahead and talk to your doctor about it. One of the most common reasons that I would use probiotics is going to be with someone who's been taking antibiotics or in conjunction with someone who's taking antibiotics. So antibiotics kill off, of course, if you have a bacterial infection, really useful, right? But they're also going to be killing some of the beneficial bacteria in your gut that you need for health. So using probiotics in that instance can help to mitigate side effects of antibiotics, but they're also very useful for things like inflammatory bowel disease or IBS. So certainly folks who have gut issues where there's likely an imbalance of bacteria going on, but a variety of other issues as well too, like allergies and eczema and things like that. So in naturopathic medicine, and address the gut first. The gut is really where all health stems from.